This is Dr. Ben Morrill. Welcome to episode 26 of Reptile Genetics Weekly. Glad to have you here and very excited to have the Tinley Park show coming up this weekend. We'll talk a little bit about that. I'll be flying out tomorrow. Very much looking forward to the show and seeing everybody there again, and I'm sure meeting some new people that I haven't met yet, so that'll be awesome. And be able to say hi to lots of people that I've known over the years. It's amazing how many people make it to that show. It's very cool. I'm excited for that. So for an update, we did have a whole bunch. The last 2 weeks, we've had hundreds of results go out both weeks. So a whole bunch went out last week. If there were any runs or any samples you had in that are, at this point, like 3 weeks or more that have been here for longer than that, and you don't have results yet, go ahead and email us raregeninc@gmail.com. That's probably the fastest way to get a reply. But the vast majority of people should have gotten results these last couple of weeks because so many went out. But that being said, if you have samples that got here during the last 2 or 3 weeks, I just got another big run. It's sequencing right now. It'll sequence overnight tonight, and I will get data tomorrow. So by the time I fly into Tinley and get to the hotel tomorrow, buckets and buckets more of data to analyze. So we've got a whole bunch more results coming. I'm going to try, because I know many people have animals they're going to have at Tinley that they want results for. I'm going to do my best to get as much of it analyzed as I can, but I do want to also enjoy the show some. So, so probably as much as I can on Thursday and during the day on Friday, I'll be analyzing. But Friday night, I know that they're planning to do some grappling, some jiu-jitsu type of stuff for a benefit and charity, and so I want to go and see that. But yeah, so probably after that, then I'll be in show mode. But if we can get any out to you Thursday and Friday, we will. I'll do as much as I can, but there's so much that there's no way I'll get it all done. So the majority of the results for this latest run will probably be coming out Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then we're going to turn right around again, since so many people are sending in samples, which once again, as we've done many times on this show, thank you all so much. We really, really appreciate sincerely all the samples. Glad that it's helpful for you all, and we'll keep it going. But yeah, so right away after we get back, Sean and Allie will be working on sending a whole bunch more, all prepped and ready for me to get off to sequencing. So this next week results will come out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the next week will probably be more like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So those are the 2 next batches of results coming out. And we did have a whole bunch of sex determination results go out as well, and we're specifically focusing on sex determination to make that test faster, so that's more like a 1 to 2 week turnaround. So lots of stuff coming. At this point, though, we'll bring on Kayla. Kayla, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. I had a moment with the controls. I was like, well, I'm muted. There I am. So, hi, I'm doing great.
I'm glad you made it. Glad you didn't get muted out.
Glad I didn't get lost in the sauce, Well, good. So tell me more about Tinley. You and Sean are going to be up there this week.
Yes.
And so you're going to be at Clutch's table, right?
Yeah, so we'll have a table. They figured out a way to make a table available for us. And so, yeah, we'll be right by Clutch. And so, yeah, that'll be awesome. Be able to have people talk about software and about testing and be right there in the heart of where lots of people will be coming through. So we're excited for that.
Awesome.
And those of you that aren't ball python people, hopefully you still feel free to come up and let us know the other species you're interested in. That's a big thing that I would be very interested in knowing when you come to the show. And any of you that can bring sheds, bring them to the show. That would be awesome too. But yeah, let us know what kind of tests you'd love to see, and that's a great time to talk about it. And I know, especially the last month or two, I've been buried and slammed. I haven't been able to answer as many messages and emails as I used to, because
I've been real busy.
Yeah, I've been going like crazy designing and making sure new tests work, and then getting runs done and analyzed and information out to people. So it's been
Yeah.
crazy, but I do love talking reptile genetic tests for sure. And so I really look forward to that. Another really big question that, and this is one that I haven't necessarily brought up to Kayla or to Sean, but I think it's a good one for people to mention in the comments or at the show. One thing that we kind of have to balance is we only have so much time. So how much focus should we put into making new tests versus how much time should we put into making the ones that we have now faster? So if you want to put in the comments either faster or more tests, that's kind of the balance. And we'll definitely keep doing both. But if we see everybody wants us to make the ones we have faster, or everybody wants us to keep making new ones, that kind of helps us to decide which way we're going to put our resources. So yeah, let us know if you think we should make what we've got faster or keep making new tests. Faster or more tests?
That's a good question. Yeah, I put a little banner right below us too. So so let us know, guys. Any sort of social media, DM us. We'll see it. And we've very Ben and Sean especially have very much run things, based on what are we getting the most requests for. That's probably what's going to happen. Generally speaking.
Yeah, that's a good thing for us to have some input on. And yeah, as long as it's a test we can do, and lots of people want it, we'll make it happen. And the biggest one that's a lot of people want that we haven't been able to make happen is the green tree python one. And
it's like our holy grail, man.
Yeah, we'll talk about that one later. It's gone in 60 seconds. It's my Eleanor so far. Hopefully we'll surpass that.
Definitely. Speaking of lots more tests, we were talking about it hitting like 35 to 40 or different tests by Tinley, right?
We're hoping to make it to 30 and possibly even 35 ball python morph tests. Yes.
All right. So here's that list that we had projected all the way back in episode 18, I'm pretty sure. So tell us where we're at.
So we did pretty well. If you open it up to the month of October, I still think we can get to 30 during the month of October. But we won't quite have all of these I know we won't have all of these by Tinley, since that's tomorrow that I'm flying out for that.
Yeah.
But the good thing, just going down the list, we do have Ultramel. And we'll put a post up. We haven't done a post yet, but we'll put a post up that makes sure that people know, spread the word. We can test for both of the Ultramel alleles now. So
all right.
So that we didn't have back when we made this slide. So yeah, both alleles for Ultramel, Monarch and TSK Xanthic and Puzzle. All three of those, we were waiting, and I mentioned it on here, we were waiting for data. I have that data now, and it is in process. And we have so much data since we kind of did 3 times as much as we've done before, that's still churning in the cloud.
Yeah.
So the bioinformatics is still running. But yes, all three of those, we have a good amount of samples, especially Monarch and Puzzle. We've got a lot of samples for both of those. And I think we have enough of TSK Xanthic as well. That all three of those we should have pretty quick. It's still possible by the end of October that we have those 3.
That'll be great.
Yes. And then the Blue-Eyed Lucy complex.
That was our super secret morph complex that we had there.
Yeah, I guess we did change that from the original slide.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were looking to get 5 or 6 new tests from that. And we will have, this week, I got some information from Dr. Seidel on special. So I'll be able to validate that. So I'll work and make sure that test works in our hands on special and super special samples.
Awesome.
But yeah, so we'll have, within the next 2 or 3 weeks, should for sure by the end of October have, all of those Blue-Eyed Lucy complex animals. The only one that they're still working on is lesser/butter. And then they're trying to nail down mocha and bamboo a little better, make sure that we have everything we need. But yeah, things are looking really good for all of those.
All right, cool.
Confusion is on that list. So confusion, I'm still working on. I have some possibles, but nothing's working great quite yet, but it's looking decent. I could still have that in October. And then banana and fire and GHI. GHI also is looking good. Fire, I'm going to have to redesign. And there's one other one. Oh, Spot Nose. Spot Nose is another one that I'm going to have to redesign. I don't know if that one is on this list, but I don't think
I see Spot Nose on here, but hey,
I did have a good candidate for Spot Nose, but I'm having to rework that. But yeah, Orange Dream and Leopard, we did get those look really good.
Yeah,
and we'll work with our vendors to get those set up. That's another thing at Tinley that we'll talk with people about, and we're kind of finalizing. Is I've said for quite a while. Oh yeah, I love this video. You have to have the sound. Can you put the sound on?
Oh yeah, here, hang on. Let me pause it. The sound is funny. Like we'd spent the whole day just getting bee footage of these animals, and all of them were so wiggly, as those of you who have photographed multiple snakes before have probably experienced. But these guys, like, listen to the joy in our voices. It's great.
Y'all win the prize. Best
yeah.
trio. Best freaking trio.
Gold star for you guys. My goodness. Gold star leopards.
We're so proud of them.
Good job, guys.
They finally held still.
They did. It was awesome. Like we just set them down on the deck. Like this was on Ben's porch, and they were just perfect. They sat right there. They were good little leopards. So
yes.
Yeah. So when we found out that Leopard was ready to go and that it was coming up soon, I was like, I know just the video for this. So
yes.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, so some stuff with Dr. Seidel.
Yeah. So do still send, and I know some people said they were going to bring sheds to Tinley. So definitely bring sheds to Tinley and hand them to me if you have Super Bamboo, Super Mocha to me or Sean, either way. Those ones we'll send directly to Hannah right away and get those going and help to finish off those.
We already mentioned Super Special and Special are part of this bunch that she was asking for, but now we're pretty comfortable on Special sheds, right?
Yeah. So
awesome.
I do have a specific test to try out and make sure it works in our hands for Special as well. So
good stuff.
Yes, that's a cool one. That's for sure.
Yeah. So chondros.
Yeah. So we do have a bunch of information again, which, like we mentioned earlier, we've done so many rounds of this, but we do have, I think it was about half known proven males and known proven females. So we know what they are, their sexes, and we have whole genome sequence for those. And we have that also churning right now. That's analyzing right now to try to identify a sex-specific region that I can design a test for. That's been a real pain in the butt for green trees. There's several times where I've gotten ones that work for some green trees. That'll work for a dozen or 15, maybe even up to 20. And then I'll open it up, like we've talked about on the show before. When I fully validate a test, I want to run at least 100,
right?
And have either 99 or all 100 be as expected. Every time I've gotten good, it seems I've got something that's working for a few, and then I blow it up to 100, and then it doesn't work. I'll have like 15 or something that don't work properly.
Yeah.
So it's been a real pain in the butt, but we do have that going again. So
awesome.
All of you green tree python keepers, get your Lucky Charms out, set them on top of your cages, cross your fingers.
Across everything you got,
say an extra prayer, whatever it is that you do.
Flush some ice down the toilet, whatever.
Yes.
I think that's for
those
snow.
Things.
Put
a spoon in the freezer.
Yeah, there you go. And extra context for those who don't, for those who haven't been following the saga with green tree pythons. From what I understand, years ago, when you guys first started doing that, you would have to get, like, in order to test the sex of a clutch of green tree pythons, you'd have to also get sample DNA from both parents and the grandparents of those in order to test it. So single shed testing has been the holy grail for honestly, not just for us, but also for people who have tried this before, like a decade ago, right?
Yeah. We're not the only ones that have worked on this. So,
yeah.
But we're getting there. And ball python was kind of difficult, but we had so many ball python sheds, and we paid a lot, tens of thousands of dollars to do that really big, deep, in-depth ball python
full genome
sequence.
Yeah.
So if we had the money to do that for any species, that should make it pretty easy to make a sex determination test. But that's $20,000-$30,000 on the cheap side. So we can't do that with every species yet, but we keep building. So maybe someday. But I do hope that this next batch of about 40 known males and females will get us over the edge finally.
Definitely. Here's hoping. And speaking of fundraising, of course, we'd like to plug Ben's breeding company as well, Reptile Genetics Services. So, they're on MorphMarket. They're not going to be bringing any animals to Tinley this time around because normally they're going to be talking to people who follow Rare Genetics work. But, go check them out if you're in the market for a pet ball python or Honduran milk snakes. You just got a snow Honduran this week, right? Yeah.
Yep, I haven't hatched out one of those before. It's a pairing that I've hatched out some albinos from before, and all of a sudden snow hatched out this time. So apparently they're head anery too. I didn't know that.
Yeah, congrats. So be sure to check that out. Plus 50% of the proceeds go toward developing more genetic tests or, maybe funding sequencing a new species genome. So definitely.
And I'll put on top of that right now, we're definitely trying to make space. So we've got a few more, the last few clutches hatching, and we're kind of low on space, probably like a lot of you out there. But if you're on our MorphMarket and you see something that you like, especially if you're going to get multiple animals, we'll give you a really good deal.
Yeah. I forgot something important regarding Tinley. Not only can you find Ben and Sean there if they're not wandering around exploring, you'll also find at our table, they're going to have shirts like we had at Arlington, Pomona, and also Daytona. So come get your Rare Genetics merch that are show exclusive. So, you'll have this. The one that I'm wearing right now has the logo on the back as well, like in really big print. Hopefully you'll be able to see it okay through the hair.
Right on.
And also this really popular one that has this on the back. Here we go. It has actually, no, this is pretty outdated at this point, but it has a bunch of the tests that we have right now. So if you want a cool shirt like one of these, as well as a few other designs that we have, be sure to go check them out. All the proceeds for those go right toward making more tests as well. So so be sure to check those out. It really, really helps a lot. Plus, you get to rock Rare Genetics merch and, spread the gospel of, hey, here's some really cool stuff we work with.
Yes.
I do that all the time. People ask me about it, and I'm like, hey, I guess what I work with. So it's good fun. You got anything else, Ben?
Not that I can think of. I think that's it.
Sweet. All right. Well, as always, like, subscribe, comment below, share with your friends, post our video or share it somewhere, tell grandma all about the cool, reptile genetics stuff. And she'll go, well, I've never heard of that before. And it's very fun.
Yes. The more,
if you're a nerd like
you
me.
share, the more you share and like and subscribe, the more people will have this come up in their feed. So that helps us to be able to get this word out to more people, which means more testing and more new tests developed. So that's a way you can help.
Exactly. Help the algorithm. All right. Well, thank you guys. And thanks, Ben, for the updates today. And I guess we'll see you next week and or at Tinley if you'll be there.
Come by and say hi.
Absolutely. All right. See you next time. Outro in 3, 2, 1.